Welcome, Virgo. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoy the reading. It's a general reading. It could apply to you, or it could apply to somebody that you are close to at this time. So thank you for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. And if you're brand new, then I hope you enjoy it. If you have a strong influences in your birth chart associated with another sign, then please feel free to cross-watch for further insights to my other videos. All right, so now I use the 12 houses of the zodiac, and as the cards are appearing in each house, then those are the influences that are coming in for you at this time. So now in the first house, we have Mercury, mind. The first house is everything to do with yourself, your appearance to others, and how you see yourself. It's also your personality and your characteristics that other people see. So it's basically what you project outwards and how you see yourself. This house also represents your physical body and your self-oriented interests. It's also about how you are making your way in the world, how others are perceiving you, and how you're coming across as you move through your daily life. So now, with Mercury mind coming in, this can manifest in a variety of ways. So it's Mercury actually does rule your sign, so you would be quite familiar with the influences of Mercury. But what you think and what you say are going to be very important at this time. So make sure that what you're thinking is positive and self-affirming, because whatever you're thinking is going to manifest in your reality. And so what you think and what you say, the two are linked. So what you say to others about yourself and about your body, or how you are just communicating in general with people, is going to be very, very important. So make sure that it's positive and self-affirming, and that is what you will project. You could also be coming across as quite witty or humorous, or if you aren't doing that, then ensure that you bring that into your persona. You're also going to be required to be quite flexible and adaptable at this time. So all of these characteristics you're able to bring in, so whether you choose to or not. But you're required to do that now. You also may have to think quickly on your feet, or go after things in a quick manner. Just be aware that with this card coming in, you can also have a tendency to be a bit glib or talk too much. Also, just steer clear of things like gossip, scandal, and avoid arguments if possible. As I said, what you think and what you say are going to be very important. So if you do find yourself in a bit of a heated situation, or you're crossing swords with somebody, choose your words with care, and use your intellect to actually talk your way either into or out of something. But it's going to be very much a mental situation that you're going to have to draw on in order to proceed with this. I do also feel that Mercury brings in movement as well. So you could be, yes, it is all about communication, and it's also about research. It's about reading. So whether this is to do with something that perhaps your physical regime, perhaps your sports regime that you're in, some sort of physical fitness, or just some yoga practice, or whatever it is that you're wanting to do with your physical body to improve your appearance, or just to make you feel better about yourself. The research and reading and talking about it is going to come in. Also, you may just be having movement may be coming to you. So whether that's travel or just movement in a car, in a vehicle, but road maps may be coming in for you as well. And associated with that is technology in different forms. So this can be electronics. It's definitely cars, electronics, cameras, any kind of upgrade to technology which you currently have. It will be an upgrade to that. Or you could be exposed to new technology of some sort, whether it's a GPS or just a new camera or some other kind of gadget. But it's kind of coming across to me as movement or travel of some kind, and you're navigating via maps, or you're in vehicles. You may have to use the internet, as I said, because the internet also comes in with this. So just be aware that maybe, that you may be in this situation and you're interacting with others in this kind of situation on the move, making a move or going on a trip of some kind. Then in the second house, we have Libra, I balance. Your second house is everything to do with your money and your income. So whatever's coming in for you. And it's also about ownership and possessions. So what you own, essentially. And it's also closely related to your value systems. So that comes in about what you own as well. So what you value. And it's also valuing yourself, which is your self-worth. So what is it you value, and your self-worth, and then also your ownership of all kinds of things, whatever that can be for you. And being the second house, it can be land, property, real estate, anything like that. And of course, your money and income. So with Libra I balance coming in, this is exactly what it says. It's about finding balance. And in order to do that, you may have to use your charm. You may have to use your negotiation skills and your strong sense of fairness as well. So whether you're asking for a raise or you're increasing your rates for work that you do, whatever it is, you're going to have to bring all those elements in to harness the best of that. You could also be, it could be fortuitous for you to go into a partnership of some kind or to link up with another in some way. So it's an alliance or mutual support at this time. You may also have a decision to make, and you may, it could be a choice, or you may reach a conclusion, and therefore you make a decision. Legalities and contracts also come in with this card. If none of that is really applying for you, then it could also just be, the Libra qualities of appreciation of beauty, art, good taste, all the arts. Whether it's music or ballet or dancing or anything beautiful. Librans have a heightened sense of awareness of that, and they really appreciate it. So it could just be that you really appreciate something, and perhaps it's a work of art or some kind of item which is appealing to you and you want to own it. So always aim for balance when it comes to your finances as well, because a sort of a love of luxuries comes in with this. So, there's no harm in buying a luxury item as long as you are within your financial means to do so. And it's actually going to do your self-worth or your value system good in some way. Then in the third house, we have fire element desire. The third house is everything to do with your communication, how you express yourself. So this is communication with certain family members. So this can be siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, and it can also be neighbors. So people in your immediate environment, or just your people in general, whether it's at work or some other kind of, perhaps you're in public relations, it's to do with that as well. So there's learning coming in here as well. The third house also covers contracts and documents of all kinds, because it's all about words, right? So those are very, very important in the third house. The third house. So now it's also about short trips of all kinds. So this could be, perhaps you are really wanting to go on a short trip of some kind. And this is the desire and the energetic, the enthusiasm in order to do that. So that could very well come out for you. If it's coming through in a general communication sense for you, can be written, verbal. It can also be body language, as I said, contracts and documents. You may have to. This is about desire. It's a fiery, passionate desire. So it may be something that you really want, or something that you really want to say. Again, it came up in your first house. Your words and how you use them are going to be very, very important here. You don't want to get yourself into an unnecessary argument or some kind of make some sort of glib statement which now comes back at you 100-fold. So just be aware of that. But with the fire element desire, it's a quick reaction to something. It's also firing up your determination to do with something as well. It's your honesty, it's your assertiveness. There could be some sort of dramatic change or a change in direction for you as well. So perhaps the way you have been doing things before is now changing, or you have some kind of epiphany or like a wake-up call, or some kind of amazing realization and new perspective, which now changes the way you communicate or the way you deal with others in that sphere. It could be, as I said, a family member or even a larger member of the public. So, as I said, it could very well bring in an epiphany or some kind of realization which really opens your mind. This could also just be going after something as a passionate new start, sort of a daring launching of yourself into whatever it is that's got your attention. It could be learning, as I said, or it could be something that you read or write. But it's a new start, and it's a new expression or a view that you have. You could also come in contact with bossy people of some sort, people who kind of get under your skin a bit. You may have to deal with that. Again, use your words with care. But you also may have to protect your work or your interests. So it's protection of your work or your interests. So somebody may come in and try and take credit for what you're doing, or try and take over something that you've already started in some way. So just think about that as well. Then in the fourth house, we have lunar eclipse change. The fourth house is everything to do with your actual home, your physical home. It's also your home environment, the atmosphere in your home, the energy in your home, people in your home. And it can also be your relationship with your roots, your foundation, your ethnic identity, your ancestry, your family tree, however you want to look at it. But whatever it is that you came from, this house also covers that. So now with this card coming in lunar eclipse change, that's exactly what it brings in. So this could be something, as I said, it could be something where you're actually seeing the light now. So something was confused or obscured before, you're now seeing the light. Something becomes clear, because once the moon has moved off, then, or the moon shines on something, then now you see. But it could also be something that you've put off dealing with. Now it comes front and center for you to deal with. Or it could be something that's been lurking under the surface and you just haven't really dealt with it for whatever reason, and now it's starting to bubble over. It just becomes inevitable that you have to deal with it, and it brings in inevitable change, necessary change in some way. So it's an upheaval. It could be unexpected, it could be sudden, or it could be something that you were subconsciously aware of and now it's there for you to deal with. There could be some kind of ending or a beginning. So something may end and something begins, or you may move home. So you may end you'll stay in one place and begin somewhere else. You could also have a revelation about your home, perhaps something that a problem that you've been trying to solve, now you get the answer, or something just becomes clear for you, you get clarity. There could also be a new start for you, as I said, a move, or just something new in the home. This card could also bring someone from the past to you into your home. So it could be a visitor or an old friend or something like that. There could also be a strong female influence, so whether this is a female in your home or a female coming into your home, or just a feminine influence in some way in your home environment. It could even be that you're moving somewhere and a female has some influence over that. The other thing it can bring in is cycles and phases. So your home life could be going through cycles of some sort. If a change does come in for you and it's abrupt and unexpected, or some kind of upheaval, it can take place. It can take place over 6 weeks or 6 months. So during that period, the change will reach completion by 6 months. Then in the fifth house, we have Mars force. Your fifth house is the house of your children or children that you're associated with. It's also the house of creativity, and that can be, you can use your creativity in many ways. It can be the way you speak, or the way you dress, or the way you, like creative accounting, or creative writing, or just the way you handle your children's parties, or any kind of creativity. It's not necessarily artistic, okay? So it's all creativity. It's governed by the fifth house. The fifth house also rules love affairs, and it rules recreational activities of all kinds. So those are fun activities, but it can also be sports. If you're involved in some kind of sporting activity, this fifth house is also for that. So now with Mars force coming in, you're going to receive some kind of challenge, or you may have to compete, or you may have to defend yourself in some way. So something's coming in. So if you're in sports, well, that all goes hand in hand. Or it could be that you're facing a challenge from somebody in some way. Or it could be that your children are experiencing this. So they could be facing a challenge, or they have to defend themselves, or they may have to compete if they're involved in sports. But you're seeing it either in yourself or in your children. And it could also just be that you need to make a push forward in something. So you're going to feel driven to push forward on something. Whether this is something to do with your kids, or it's a creative project that you're working on, or it could even be, as I said, in a recreational activity of some sort, or a sport. But it's a push forward. You're feeling passionate about something, or you're feeling enthusiastic. So this could also be a love affair. Perhaps you are going after something or someone that is going to bring this love affair to you, or you're just jumping into it. But it covers sports, ambition, and there's measured action as well. This is not a good time to be rushing and diving and ducking. It's measured action, and that way you get the best out of this energetic card. It's also about having an overwhelming attraction to something or to someone. So that could come in for you or your children. It's also the pursuit of your goals. And you may feel like you want to rush in, but as I said, take measured action, you'll get better results. So all of those could come in for any one of those areas in your 5th house. Then in your 6th house, you have Virgo, I analyze. So you are Virgo yourself. You fully understand what this is about. So in your 6th house, this covers your work life, your work projects, your workplace, and even your work colleagues. It's your daily routines. It's also your health and your diet, and it's also pets. So with Virgo, I analyze coming in there, it's pretty much all the elements that you've been already born with. So with this coming in on your house of work in particular, this is about getting organized. So bring in your best Virgoan qualities. It's about getting organized, being systematic, being detailed. You may need to declutter in some way as well, whether that's decluttering your life from a health perspective or your diet perspective, or whether that is from your work, or it could just be mastery of your craft. So if you're not necessarily working, but you've got some kind of craft that you're involved in, or you want to work on, then this card applies to you as well. So it could just be a general decluttering. But whatever it is, whatever you're going to streamline in any one of those areas, whatever stays, whatever is going to be useful, it has to be useful to you. So whatever you're going to keep and it must be put to good use. Get rid of all unnecessary things that don't serve you or don't help you or serve no real function. Your daily routine is going to be very important with this coming in. So use your Virgoan qualities, assess and analyze what you're doing, and get the best out of your day and out of your diet, and look after your health, all of those things. So health matters could very well come up with this. But that could also stem from the other Virgoan qualities, or if you want to call them qualities, which they're there for a reason, but it's excessive worry about things. So worrying about every detail, overthinking or overanalyzing. So that is the pitfall of all the best Virgoan qualities, and that is the other side of the coin for that. This is also Virgos also are big on service. So you could be in the service industry, or you could be requiring to use all your best service skills to deal with issues in your daily life. You could also be working in the health field, in the caring field in some way, and you're really going to have to use all your best qualities again to get the most out of your day and harness the best from it. So in any case, health matters may come up. Hospital visits, whether you work there or whether you're visiting a hospital for some reason. It could also be that you are having to deal with gastrointestinal or nervous system issues, which get activated through nervousness and excessive worry as well. So watch your diet, be pristine with your diet. Also, this card may bring in small pets, so you may be acquiring a small pet. But nature is going to be important, so spend time in nature, wherever that will be for you. And also learning. So you may have to either learn about your health and your diet, or you have to learn about something in your work environment as well. If you are going on a trip of some kind, then you may have to visit a travel clinic of some kind as well. So do your research about that. Decide what's right for you, what you need to do, and follow up. And it's all about that. It's all about your health and looking after yourself in whatever way you're going forward in your life. Then in the 7th house, this is your house of relationships. These are close personal relationships. So this is your love relationship or your business partnership or some other significant personal relationship that you have. It's one-on-one. This is not the greater groups. This is one-on-one. So with Cancer, I feel coming in there, this is all about how do you feel. So in your 7th house, in your house of relationships, it's always about how do you feel? What do you feel? So you're going to have to rely on your intuition and instincts in this relationship. And you're probably going to be feeling highly sensitive, even emotional, and a little bit nostalgic, or you're going to be thinking about memories of the past. There could be a female influence or feminine or woman issues coming up at this time as well. So it could be your female partner, or it could be a business partner. Something is coming in for you, or it could be they have a mother figure which is kind of coming in on your relationship. There could be a variety of ways that comes in, but the feminine influence could be coming in, or it could just be women's issues are affecting the relationship. Be careful of moodiness and crabby behavior. So whether this is you or your partner or both of you, that can actually ruin a relationship totally. So always manage your moods, manage your sort of quick response or defensive response over certain things if you feel threatened. So think of the crab. The crab brings out that claw, has a good old chop away, and then it goes into its shell. So with this card, you may just find that you need to retreat, or the person that you're involved with, you need to retreat periodically and just withdraw and spend time on your own, just to rebalance your energies. And just get to grips with what's going on and understand the feelings and emotions that are coming up in you at this time. So a bit of retreat, withdrawal, balanced with loving and nurturing. When you find balance with that, then you can harness the best of the Cancer card. Something hidden or something secret or something not clear may come up for you at this time in this relationship. There could also be domestic issues of some sort which need to be dealt with, so that it brings harmony into your relationship. Then in the 8th house, we have North Node, Life's Purpose. Your 8th house is your house of big finance, and it's also other people's money, and it's also the shared resources. So this is the merging of emotional and material resources between love partners and also or business partners. So and this can be in love partners, it's the sexual side of the relationship as well as all the merging of the finances and everything to do with your life that you're now joining together with this other person. Your big finances is things like accounting, banking, tax, investments, inheritances, insurances, and legacies as well, so trusts, all of that. So it's all the money that's invested and it's got big consequences, really. So, or it could be you dealing with somebody else's finances as well, whether that's in a professional sphere or just yourself and perhaps in your family or something. So now with the North Node and Life's Purpose coming in here, this is a destiny card. So it's like the hand of fate is leading you to where you need to be. So however you want to interpret that, but it's you're being guided to the right place at the right time. And you may also be meeting people from your soul family. So these are people that you have a really good, deep connection with. You may not even know them initially, but as soon as you meet them, you feel connected to them on some deep level. And these people will be helpful and supportive of you, or it could be somebody that you're linking up with, whether it's a business partnership or a deeper love interest. So it's a soul connection or soul connections, or it could be more than one person that you're coming in contact with now. You could also start a business venture with this card. So this is something, it's kind of a good time to be doing it. But whatever you're doing in this house, whether you're just rearranging your finances or you're making better decisions, you're going to be in a better position comes about. It could also be some kind of career if you deal with other people's money. So it's a career move or some kind of career change. But the hand of fate is guiding you there, and you will end up in a better position than where you were before. So things improve, right? And this has got, as I said, it's a fate, it's a destiny thing. It's the life's purpose. The North Node is all about that. It's all about harnessing your highest potential and karmic gifts coming back to you now. So work you've done even in the past or in past lives, however you want to look at it, the rewards come back for you now. And it kind of moves you, it maneuvers you just to the right position. So there's prosperity or an increase in what you've got coming to you. So it's a reward. It could also be signifying future potential. So it's a good time to be investing or doing something like that, which is going to yield really good results later for you. It could also be you applying your talents and abilities in some way, which you've come in with. This is your life purpose, your karmic inheritance, your talents and your abilities. You're applying them in some way here, which is going to benefit you in some way as well. There's growth with this, whether that's financial or it's a relationship growth, but it's also about moving forward. The North Node is always about moving forward to your highest potential, your highest vision of yourself in this lifetime. Then in the 9th house, we have Taurus, I have. So this is a very stable and supportive influence coming in for you. It's a very grounded card, earthy card. I have. It's about possessions. It's about materialism. It's about solidness. But when it's sitting in your 9th house, your 9th house is covers quite a wide variety of things. It's all about international connections. So it's about exploration, about traveling, about adventure as well. Whether this is a personal adventure or an actual physical traveling adventure. It's contact with the world, so that you meeting the world or the world coming to you in some way. So it could be contact with foreign countries or cultures or people, whether that's import, export, or just some kind of, could be online. Perhaps you're connecting with others from different places, or you've got some kind of connection with people that are from a different culture, from a different country to you. This house also covers further education and study, so that's university level and adult education. This 9th house also covers philosophy, it covers religion and belief systems of all kinds. It also covers the law, so that whether you're studying that or you're understanding it better or you're engaging in a legal situation, which is the higher courts. It's also teaching, whether you are a teacher or you're involved in teaching in some way, or you could be going to somewhere where you're learning. It's about publishing, public relations, promotional work of all kinds. And it's also prophecy, it's also your relationship with your in-laws as well. So it covers a wide variation. So now I feel for you, as I said, it's a stable and supportive influence coming in you. So you may be required to bring that in, or it's coming in for you, but it's steadfast. This is the hallmark of Taurus. So I feel that this is going to come in for you from a financial aspect. So you could be building up or creating a nest egg or some kind of financial purpose. So it's building up the finances in order to do something for yourself. So whether this is a university education, or it could be for somebody that you're a child maybe, or it could be that you want to go on a trip, some kind of overseas journey, and this is you putting that money away for that and putting all the pieces into place for that. Or it could be that you are going into a religious study or a philosophy, or you're exploring a belief system in some way. But this is, I feel there's a strong financial aspect coming in for this placement. So there's banking, there's credit or loans involved. Perhaps you want to undertake some kind of teaching diploma, or you are involved in publishing something. and or you want to do some kind of promotional work, but it's harnessing the finance in order to do that. Okay, and it could also be harnessing the finance for a legal situation. So, but the other side of it, if you're going on a trip of some kind, this is not going to be a camping trip. With Taurus in this, you're going to want comfort. You're going to want your home comforts, your little luxuries, good food, and that's so it's going to have that kind of influence as a trip. So it's something that you're going to have to put a bit of money away for, so that you can really enjoy yourself. It's indulgence, but it's also about being practical and keeping your feet on the ground, so not going overboard, right? It could also, if none of that is applying for you, it could also be that you are entering the arts in some way, because Taurus kind of governs that. So that's art galleries, it could be dance movements, it's singing, music, the arts in general, or even acting. So you could be involved in that in some way. You could also have some kind of connection with land or real estate as well that may come in on this. Then in the 10th house, we have Chiron healing. 10th house is your house of career. It's your house of ambition, what you are striving for in your life, your goals and so on. It's also the house of authority figures, and it's the house of your fame and your reputation and your public status. So now with Chiron healing coming in there, this card is indicating that you're going to need to deal with old patterns and behaviors. You need to understand and heal them so that you can move forward. So difficulties that you've had in the past, experiences that you've had in the past, perhaps you had a few career issues that you had to grapple with from long ago. They may be coming up again, or something associated with that comes up again to just be dealt with. So it may not have been fully sorted out the first time it was around. You just perhaps didn't have the experience, or you didn't have the know-how, you just didn't have the wisdom at that time. So now, in order for you to move forward in any one of the areas covered by the 10th house, you're going to need to dispatch these old patterns and behaviors. You really got to bring them into the light, to study them, assess them, and let go of them, and take what the best out of it and move forward with that, so that you don't repeat these old patterns again and again. And it's almost like a self-sabotage, right? So understand and heal old wounds and difficulties first, then you can move forward. So it's a kind of emotional healing, really. There's contemplation involved with this. On a physical level, it might just be health matters coming up as well. So in order to launch yourself into a particular kind of career, you may just need to deal with health matters of some sort. But getting onto the actual career side of it, you may also just be going into a new career, or wanting to read up or research or understand aspects to do with this. And this can be, this card covers a wide variety of alternative health fields. So this is homeopathy, chiropractic, any kind of natural therapy. It also rules astrology, it rules quantum physics, and it rules medicine. So any one of those areas could be coming up for you as a 10th house aspect. It could also be that you have an authority figure or a mentor in your life who is exhibiting Chiron qualities, or they could be going through a painful period of sorting things out in order to move forward. So looking at old wounds and healing them and moving forward. So it could come in that way for you as well. Then in the 11th house, we have Capricorn IUs. So the 11th house is your house of friendships, your networks, any kind of group activity that you're involved in, whether it's social or a sort of a society or an association, or it could even be a club, like a book club or some kind of greater club. Whether if you're in sports, it could be a club situation like that. So it's also it also rules your personal hobbies and interests as well, and your futuristic visions. It can also be on a global scale. So this could be group consciousness or global causes for reform or social reform. So it could be that as well. You could be involved in that. Maybe you're entering groups, or you're learning more about that, or you're just involved in it from a work perspective. With this card coming in, Capricorn IUs, so you could be meeting supportive and helpful people. And it's nurturing those, really. That is the best way to put it. So it's useful friends and contacts, people that you really can turn to for advice or for help, or just for, to give you good feedback, help you through the ropes, like a mentor, somebody who can show you the ropes, could be something like that. But it's also about you building a really solid network as well. On the downside of it, some people look at it as social climbing as well. So that might apply for you, or it could just be that you are building a really solid network of people. But there's ambition involved here as well. Having a plan or a goal or an ambition and then moving towards it systematically. That is the Capricornian way. So it's almost like single vision, for that goal. Slow and steady progress is not going to be quick, this. And it's about being diligent, about sort of really harnessing those contacts and the people that you're involved with. Or it could be just a friendship as well, or a lot of different friendships that you're wanting to really keep close to you and nurture at this time. But it really is building a solid foundation and building up and up and up. And it could be raising your social profile as well. Or you could have a Capricornian type friend that you're making and they exhibit qualities like that, and you're learning about that as well. Then in the 12th house, we have Gemini, I think. So the 12th house, again, it covers quite a wide range of things, but it's basically your unconscious self. So your hidden motivations, your drives, what it is that it's not really conscious. These are things that kind of your instinctive behavior and so on. So it's also the house of solitude and reflection and retreat, withdrawal. So that comes in as well. Spiritual life, meditation, mysticism, and healing of all kinds. It can also bring in escapism and addictions. And it's karmic inheritance as well, if that applies for you. So now with the this card coming in, Gemini, I think. So this is about listening carefully to what's going on, and choosing your words. So think things through as well. And this has come up again and again in your chart. So your communication is really going to be key. Whether this is communication with yourself, your self-talk, getting rid of that self-talk, or the negative stuff, and moving forward with a positive self-talk, or whether you're interacting with others in some way. And it's also about multitasking. It can be that. It's about reading and writing, and learning, and technology can come in with this card as well. So whether you're in the profession where you are, the 12th house also can deal with your interactions or your experiences in institutions of all kinds. So whether this is a university or a hospital or a government institution, government department, or some kind of like a hospital or a prison, any kind of institution, is governed by the 12th house as well. So you could be going into various types of institutions for a reason, or you're going with somebody else and it's your experiences there. It could also be that you're working in one of these environments. If you're a carer or a helper or a doctor or a nurse or something like that, then you will be using, in this environment. You may have to learn something new. You may have to listen carefully and, as I said, choose your words with wisdom. Or it could just be you thinking about your deeper motivations and working with your inner self. This card can also bring in sort of being distracted, feeling nervous or feeling restless as well. You could also be exhibiting a bit of like fickle behavior, getting bored easily. Also be aware with this talking too much or gossip, and that came up earlier as well. So you might hear something, but just don't enter into that at this time, because with all the energies going on in your chart, it could rebound on you really quite badly. So just be careful. The lovely thing with this as well is that you could be entering a soulmate relationship as well, because this card can bring that in. So this is a really deep, important relationship coming in for you at this time. That's a possibility. Okay, Virgo, I hope you enjoyed that. I look forward to you coming back. Please like and subscribe, and take care, and I will see you again next time.